Hey, it's Kev Anderson from The Story Edge. I wanted to share with you the journey of writing my own origin story. So, yesterday in a blog post, I shared my thoughts on the power of an origin story, and I shared three examples of fantastic origin stories that clients of mine have actually written. But of course, I haven't written my own origin story. So I've decided that it'd be a fun experiment to follow the process. And the process, as you see it just now, all you're looking at in this video so far is this blinking cursor. And that's the thing that fills us with dread when we are starting any writing project. That's the thing that puts us off. The fear of the blank page. Or an artist, it might be the fear of the blank canvas. So, as you can see along the top here, you can maybe see I use Google Drive for all of my writing and all my kind of document management. And in true Blue Peter, here's one I prepared earlier, stylee, I have got another file here that I'm going to show you in a minute. So this is the thing, this blank page is hugely intimidating and it'll hold you back. But as I said in the blog post from yesterday, the first point, the first stage, if you like, in the entire process is to go back and look at those set piece moments in your life. Those moments, the kind of highlights. For some, it might be as simple as a chronological CV, if you like. The different jobs, the different places you've been. That's maybe a good place to start. It's certainly been my approach. You can also go back a little bit further, and I've talked about this before, but really remember who are you writing for and why are you writing for them? Yeah, so who's it you're writing for? So for me, I am writing for people who think they know me. People who think they know me very well, but actually they maybe don't know me as well as they think they do. They don't know the backstory because I've not shared it. And the intent, why am I sharing this story now? Because I think it's a story that I feel that I'm ready to tell, but I want people to understand that my involvement in marketing communications goes way back. Okay? And I'm going to do it in a fun way. So let's flip over to this. So this is the outline. So again, I've created some kind of subheads that make sense to me. So these individual bullet points, so let me read through them. A girl called, uni dreams, my first job, London calling, uni reality, catching a bus, getting off the bus, failed freedom, fickle finger of fate, breaking down and reboot, the story edge, and I have a dream. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 subheadings, if you like. 12 set piece elements within my story. And within those individual elements, there might be one story, there might be two stories that kind of encapsulate it. And the way I'm going to write it is really quite simple. I'm going to just copy this. And I'm going to paste it into this document. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a new line and try that again. Yeah, there we go. So what we've got now is I can just write that. So I'm going to write these independently. Don't worry, I'm not going to write the whole thing live. But I'm going to write this in each of these things independently. And then once I've done that, then I'm going to look back and try and find the themes. So really what I'm doing is creating the first draft. So let me just go and have a quick scribble. And again, this is a first draft. I'm not going to edit as I go. I'm just going to write it. Okay, her name was Veronica. She smelled like Parma violets, and coconuts and coconut. I was 15. She was in her late 20s. And again, I've clearly made a spelling mistake. You can correct it. I will correct it. But a lot of times, my process is just to let those kind of errors go and I can catch them later on. She was beautiful. I was 15. She was in her late 20s. I was a high school student. She was an account manager at Bailey Marshall Advertising Agency. It was as if my voice had broken all over again. I was petrified of this wonderful smelling woman, and just as petrified of the world of work. Okay, now when this finally goes onto the blog, terrified actually, I was just as terrified of the world of work. So when this appears on the website, it's going to be slightly different. It's going to be slightly more polished. It's going to be edited, etc. But I just wanted to give you a flavour for how I approach this. So I'm approaching it very much with a story. What's the memory? And I'm not going to tell you the whole story. But the bottom line is that this is the first memory I have of working in marketing communications. And I say working because it was work experience. It was a 3-day experience, but it was my first taster of the world of marketing communications, and it was fascinating. So I, I'm going way back, and I'm gonna write now. Again, it might only be another few hundred words. Okay, it might not be a huge amount more that I want to say, but that is my abiding memory: being intimidated, being nervous about this beautiful woman, this stunning woman, and here's me as a kid trying to be kind of macho and trying to pretend that this is just normal for me, and it was really just like my voice had broken all over again. Hello, Veronica, was how I sounded. So this is my approach. So I'm gonna crack on, get the rest of this this first segment done, and then I'll do the same. I'll carry on along the same sort of lines. I'll now go on to uni dreams, and again, so a little sneak peek into that. What do I mean by uni dreams? It's, I dreamt of going to university and I didn't get the grades to do it. So what happened? And how did that affect me? How did that shape me? So I'm going to write those individual pieces, and then once I'm finished, I'm going to look for themes. I'm going to look for kind of universal truths that kind of cut across my whole story, and I'll tidy it up, I'll polish it, I'll correct the spelling mistakes, I'll try and use some funnier stories, some interesting stories, some anecdotes, but ultimately this is the approach that I take to telling my story. So for you, what I want you to take from this is, if you're doing your own origin story, start in isolation by just coming up with your set piece moments, the outline of your story. I started off writing these slightly differently, and I've edited them a little bit. I could have put work experience there, but actually the memory is about that girl called Veronica at Bailey Marshall. Then uni dreams. It kind of gives you an idea there. Well, did the dreams come true? So these will be the subheadings as they stand just now. But as I go through it, I have no doubt that those subheadings will change. And some of these elements might not actually make the final cut. It's all down to me. But this is the starting point. So for you, get started by creating that bullet point list. That's all you need to do. You can do it in paper, you can do it in a Word document, you can do it wherever you like. But just create those initial headlines. Don't worry about fancy titles or clever titles initially. Just write down the titles that make sense to you just now. You can always come back and change those later. So that's it. That's part 1 of writing my origin story. I'll be back again tomorrow with another element of this journey of writing my own story. Till then, have a great day. Cheers.